Hello friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Danny and today it is finally time for us to continue with Battle of the Booktubers. This is round 3. If you all were not here for round 1 or round 2 and you would like to get in on the action, I will leave the playlist in the description down below. I will also link the original secret project announcement for round 1, which has a little bit more information that I'm going to offer you in this video. So if you would like specifics on the details of the competition, I would go and watch the first part of that video before continuing on. Otherwise, I'm going to give you guys just a brief synopsis here. In the Battle of the Booktubers, I am getting together 16 booktubers from around the world to compete to figure out who is the best at recommending books. Each of the booktubers is put into a group of 4 competitors in which they will each get 2 recommendations from each of their competitors. So they will get 6 books in total. Each of the competitors receives points based on the rating that the other competitors give their recommendations. Since each competitor is giving 2 recommendations, they will receive more points for their top recommendation than they will for their bottom recommendation. They also provided me with recommendations as well, so I will be providing them with a few points here and there depending on how I thought their book recommendations went for my reading tastes. And that's pretty much it. At the end, we total all of the points, and whoever has the most points at the end of the competition wins that round at Battle of the Booktubers. We will eventually have a championship round, but that is so far in the future, I'm not even gonna think about it yet. Throughout this month on Tuesdays, you will be receiving vlogs from each of the competitors in this round, as well as a sneak peek, and this is a change from the last round. The sneak peeks are now going to be on Mondays. So every Monday you will receive a sneak peek that gives you a little bit of a peek behind the curtain into what ratings and shenanigans went on in all of the vlogs. The vlogs are posted on Tuesday, and then at the end of the month we will also have a live show where we will announce the winner, we will calculate all of the points at the very end, and we will have a discussion with all of the competitors about their experience with this competition. I will also be posting polls throughout the month for you guys to make predictions about this round that we will discuss those results in the live show as well. So be on the lookout for those community posts if you guys would like to participate in the predictions. Without further ado, I would like to introduce to you the competitors of round 3.
Olá, eu sou a Beatriz e eu tenho 24 anos e estou no Booktube há cerca de 6 meses, mas eu já leio desde que sou, assim, muito pequenina. Pelo menos desde que eu me lembro. Mas eu gostava de me apresentar, mas eu acho que vocês não estão a compreender nada do que aquilo que eu estou a dizer. Então vamos mudar de língua e fazer esta introdução em inglês. Now, back in English. Hi friends, I'm Beatriz and welcome to Beatriz Book Nook. I am so happy to be here, and if you haven't noticed, I might be your Portuguese booktuber friend, and that, my friends, makes all my identity. No, I'm just kidding, I'm just Portuguese by nature. Well, that's where I was born. So, I have been on Booktube now for about 6 months, and I tell myself that I've been having the best time of my life. Well, which, just on a secret, I think I have been having a pretty good time here. I'm probably the youngest on this group of competitors, which I think is probably a disadvantage because I have not been reading for as long as they have. But I think I'm ready to battle you with my dragons, my spellcasts, and all of my fantastical friends, which, if you have not noticed by the title behind me, fantasy is the genre that I most read and that I find more joy in reading. You can find me every weekend with sprints on Saturdays and on Sundays with a new and chaotic video where I try to vlog, but I'm not good at it. But to make up for that, you can see other type of videos on my channel, so you will always be welcome and I cannot wait to see you there. By the time this video comes out, I think you already know, but I also have some few fun projects on the way, so I think you should keep an eye out.
Beatriz, I look forward to seeing what dragons and spellcasts you've used to battle your way to victory this time. I also should shout out the Goddess Complex readathon, which is one of the secret projects that Beatriz was talking about that is going on this month, and Beatriz is the host. Let's see who's next.
Hi, my name is Laura. I am so excited to be participating this round of the bookish competition from Danni.Dabbles, and I am really excited. So if you don't know me, I'm Laura. I'm from Laura's Bookish Life. I've been on YouTube for like 7-8 years, but I'll tell you a little bit about me first. I'm on Laura's Bookish Life. I do various content on various platforms. YouTube is definitely my favorite place to make content. But yeah, I'm Laura's Bookish Life. What is my channel about? I really do read a lot. I read a large variety of things. If I had to pin down my 2 genres, I'm definitely a fantasy reader and I'm definitely a romance reader. I mostly read physically a lot of fantasy, and I listen to a lot of audiobooks just because I have a pretty long commute. And what you will find on my channel is a lot of wrap-ups, a lot of vlogs, and just a lot of fun bookish adventures. I go to a lot of bookish conventions throughout the year. I also love a competitive readathon. 90% of the vlogs I do are competitive readathon based when they exist, or just readathon based. I've been getting into doing those a lot more. One day I would love to start my own readathon, maybe one day, but right now I am knee deep in competitive readathons, and they're so much fun. So I really do like doing vlogs. I really like to do challenge vlogs, and I also just like book hauls. They're really, really fun. So that is what you will see on my channel, and I definitely produce more content in the summer because, as I said, I'm a drama teacher. I teach all year, so summer is my like fun time to just kind of adventure and kind of really focus on my content. So definitely check around, keep watching me during the summer because I definitely produce more content.
Well, Laura, as our summer is coming to an end, hopefully this means that you have a surplus of videos on your channel right now that are just waiting for our viewers to find. Who's next?
Hi, I'm Victoria, and my Booktube channel name is just Victoria Masters. I pretty much only read fantasy. It's definitely the main thing I talk about on my channel, but like the other 5% of the time, I might talk a little bit about sci-fi or romance or a little bit of manga here and there. My favorite type of content to do is like kind of basic, I guess. I just really love doing wrap-ups, but I also like doing like TBR prompt jar videos and hauls, talking about tropes and just kind of a variety of things. I want to try out more vlogging, and I guess this competition will allow me to do that in kind of like a forced way. Aside from like one buddy read that I've done before, this is like my first collaborative thing that I've done on Booktube, so I'm really excited but also kind of nervous.
Oh, no need to be nervous, Victoria. We are all just here to have fun and talk about books. I am really excited that this is your first collaboration experience, and I hope that it's a good one. Let's see who our last competitor is for round 3.
Merry meet bookish witches. I go by Witchy, and my channel is called Witchy Reads. I am so excited to participate in Battle of the Booktubers. My channel is still relatively new. It is less than a year old. I primarily focus on in-depth book reviews. A lot of my videos discuss tropes, plot comparisons, narrative devices, and other literary critiques that I pick up on as I read books. I didn't necessarily set out to do this on my channel. It's just the path that I stumbled upon. I really love doing it. As far as narrowing down genres of books that I read, I tend to be all over the place. I do primarily focus on fiction reads. I understand that can be a very broad category. I do tend to favor contemporary fantasy and horror. Bonus if any of these novels fall under the cozy category. I haven't done any vlog reading videos on my channel yet. This is mainly because I watch my toddler for a majority of the day. This will be my first vlogging experience. I'll be interested to see how I can make this as interesting as possible. I hope it comes out well.
I'm sure your vlogs are going to be great, Witchy. As someone who struggles with vlogging myself, I totally understand, and we are in this together. Look at Battle of the Booktubers, handing out firsts. I have a first collaboration experience, first vlogs. This is such a treat. Similar to round 1 and round 2, I asked our competitors to talk about their strategy going into this competition. Let's see what they had to say.
Strategy-wise, this one was actually super hard. I picked books that I love. So I've picked some of my favorite books in various genres that I have really, really enjoyed. But I tried to pick books that I didn't think anyone else has read because they're like, I just don't think they have enough eyes on them. So I tried to pick books that I felt like I really loved, but no one else has read them, just to kind of maybe help you find like some hidden gems in this. And that's kind of how I pick them, because I tend to read a wide variety of things and I don't really fit into any niche on Booktube. I just kind of read a little bit of everything. So yeah, that was kind of where my head was.
Well, I hope you were successful in helping people find their hidden gems. It is always really fun to find a book that you've absolutely loved and have never heard of before. Let's see what Witchy has to say.
My strategy for this involves reading each of the booktubers' bios, as well as watching all the suggested videos that they gave. From that, I was able to come up with some ideas for recommendations. I then went to Goodreads to confirm my choices and to basically make sure that they hadn't already read the books that I wanted to recommend. I personally have read all the books that I have recommended in this competition, not because I think there is anything wrong in recommending a book you haven't read. I wouldn't have felt confident recommending a book that I myself haven't read, vetted, and confirmed was a good read.
Another competitor only giving recommendations on books that they've read. I think this is a sound strategy, and this is probably where I would sit in my comfort level of recommendations. I hope that it works out. Beatrice, what about you?
So, you want to talk about strategy, and you want to know what my strategy was. I was honestly thinking that was going to be my secret, and I wouldn't let anyone know. But since we are friends here, I think I'll let you know on my strategy. Because, well, there was actually none. I just stalked my friends, my competitors. I thoroughly read their bios, went on Goodreads and Storygraph to stalk them a little bit more, watch all of their videos, or at least I tried to watch all of their videos, and from there I just picked some books. Honestly, it was nothing much, and I hope they love the books that I picked, or at least they have a nice time reading them. Some of them are on my shelves and some aren't. Well, I think mostly aren't. But I did choose some that I've read before and that I really enjoyed, because it was very hard to choose some books for my competitors, which I have never heard of, which was amazing. Well, I have read one of them, and she might be my true, honest competition, because I am scared of her. But I'm hoping they love the books that I picked and that I made the right choice. But if I didn't, oh well, once again, it's fine. It's okay. It's fine, honestly.
It will be fine, Beatrice, I promise. You are not the first competitor to come into this competition with quote unquote no strategy. And you recommended books that you love, which is all anyone could hope for. Last but not least, let's see what Victoria's strategy is.
As for strategy that I did in giving my recommendations, we had little bios that we gave about ourselves, and I'm so glad that we did that, because I would have been so lost about what to do for anyone without them. So I definitely survived off of those, but I also checked out everyone's Goodreads, tried to make sure I wasn't recommending anything that they had already read. And I also focused on their higher ranked read books, so 4 or 5 stars, and tried to see what commonalities I could find there. Sometimes it was easier and other times it was harder.
Looking at the higher rated books of a competitor definitely makes sense as far as finding comparable books. So I hope, Victoria, that you were able to find some books that you've read that have similar vibes to ones that they've loved, and hopefully they will love them as well. The last thing I asked competitors to do was talk about their competition. Talk about who is the hardest to recommend for? Who is the easiest? Who do you think is your biggest competition? And why do you think you're going to win? So let's see what they think of their competition.
I think Laura is going to be the most difficult for me, with Beatrice coming in a close second. Both of them are fans of fantasy, and that is such a huge genre with a wide range of subgenres. I had to make sure that I was picking the right kind of fantasy books for both of them. I know from experience that the fantasy books I enjoy aren't everyone's cup of tea, so it's very possible that I missed the mark here. Fingers crossed I get lucky and manage to pull a diamond in the rough for both of them. I think for me, Victoria is the one to beat. Based on the limited information I have, I think we are a pretty close match in what we like to read. While this might seem like an easy win, I am very much a novice at recommending books. This means if Victoria is exceptional at recommending books, and if we are as similar in taste as I think we are, it's extremely likely that she is going to hit it out of the park with her book recommendations. I'm equal parts excited and terrified. There is a part of me that wants to absolutely say I am going to win and give myself all the praise, but there is a larger part of me that is spiraling in imposter syndrome about my abilities to pull this off. Anxiety is wild. My end goal in all of this is that someone gets to walk away with a new book that they enjoy, hopefully because of one of my book recommendations. Thank you so much for including me. I cannot wait to get into reading the books that were recommended for me. Good luck to everybody.
Good luck to everyone indeed. I am so happy that you are here, Witchy, and I also hope that everyone walks away with a new book that they can enjoy. Let's hear from the competitor that Witchy thinks is the one to beat.
I think that out of the people in my round, Beatrice from Beatrice's Book Nook was the hardest to recommend for, because with the other two people, when I read the things that they were interested in, at least one thing kind of sparked something in my mind where I was like, oh, this book that I read and enjoyed kind of fits with that. Like maybe they would like that one. But with Beatrice, there wasn't a specific thing that like jumped out to me. One nice thing about this round is we're all fantasy lovers. I did notice with some other rounds, there's kind of like a more blend of readers, which is great, but would definitely be harder for me as someone who's pretty much only experienced in fantasy. But yeah, so even though it was harder for me to narrow things down with Beatrice, I'm hoping I was still able to go in the right direction. I guess we'll find out. As for the one to beat, I think that's probably going to be Laura from Laura's Bookish Life. And my main reason for thinking this is just from what I can remember, I think out of the four of us, she has been on Booktube the longest. So I guess in my logic, I'm thinking that means that she has like the most experience at recommending books, I guess. Because we're all readers, you know, so even before we were on Booktube, of course, we were reading and everything. But recommending books and reading books are two very different skills. Now, as for why I think I'm gonna win, my self-confidence isn't the highest, but I think I do have a chance, hopefully. I do feel like I put a lot of thought into my recommendations and tried to make them very personalized. But also, I only recommended books that I like read and finished. I didn't recommend any that I hadn't picked up or DNF'd. And I DNF really easily. So hopefully that means that they're all like solid books. Even if they're not like necessarily someone's taste, it's a good baseline, I guess. And so hopefully that'll give me a leg up. I just am so excited for this and can't wait. Bye.
I'm excited as well, Victoria, and I can't wait to see the culminating events of this round. I want to know how it all pans out. Let's hear from Laura next.
My biggest competition, I think, is going to be Beatrice from Beatrice's Book Nook. I'm saying it now. I think that she is going to be my biggest competition because I think she gives really, really good recs. Why am I the best at giving recs? That's really hard. Not to toot my own horn. I'm really good at finding something you like and finding a book that has that. And I'm really, like, that's just something I really like to do. I always say everyone can be a reader. Obviously, you're watching this channel. I assume you like to read. But even in, like, my typical everyday life with friends and, like, people I'm friends with in real life, I always say you can be a reader if you find the right book. And I love finding books. I'm a teacher as well, so if I have a kid tells me, I hate reading, Miss Morrow, I'll say, no, you have to find the right book. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. I'm really excited to read all these recs and just hopefully find some new favorites. And I hope you guys will follow me along on this journey. Again, I make a lot of content in the summer, and thank you so much, Danni, for inviting me. It was such an honor, and let's get reading, friends. Bye.
I hope you find some great reads as well, Laura. Thank you so much for being here. So Laura says Beatrice is the one to beat. Let's see what she has to say.
My biggest competition, as I've said before, well, I did not tell you the name, but I think it will be Laura, because Laura is a teacher, first, has read so much, and I always see so many books on her videos that I'm like, I don't know how I will compete against her, but I'm able to try. So I'm curious because I know that I might be able to beat her. Or am I? I don't know. I think I'm afraid of her, friends. And I think it's the time where I should say, why should I win this competition? Honestly, I don't think I'm going to win, but it's very unlikely, honestly, because I have not read as much as them. But if, and wow, it would be a turn of events, if I win, I'll be very happy. But I just hope Witchy, Laura, and Victoria have an amazing time reading the books that I picked for them. And who doesn't like an underdog? I might be the underdog of this round. But no matter what happens, it's fine. I'm fine. Everything is fine. And this is just for fun. So I'm very excited to know if I'm going to be the one that you bet your money on. But if not, it's fine. Don't worry. I'll still be your friend. Bye, friends!
I'll still be your friend, Beatrice, and yes, you are absolutely correct. This is all for fun and for the love of reading, and so I am so pleased that all of you guys have decided to join me. If you guys out there have not subscribed to any of these lovely individuals, please go do that. I will put their information in the description down below. I am officially deeming this round my cinnamon roll round because all of these booktubers are just lovely, wonderful human beings, and it has been a joy to work with them throughout this competition. All of the competitors have been this way, but I specifically think that this round is just very sweet. And so I can't wait to see all of their recommendations and their vlogs come out to see what they truly think about the books that were recommended to them. Don't forget to tune in next Tuesday for the first week of round 3 Battle of the Booktubers to see the vlogs and the battle start. Also, tune in to my community tab and make sure you guys make predictions on who you think is going to win this battle. Until next time, happy reading!